Coming up on Teen Talk, we're going to be highlighting young women in the trades. Stay tuned. Hey there, ACPS. Today, I'm at the Center of Applied Technology North, and for Women's History Month, we're going to be highlighting women in unconventional programs. Today, I am joined with Carla. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So, can you tell me, what program are you enrolled in here?
I'm in the electricity program, level 2 right now.
Okay, so how's that going for you? What do you like about it? What's your favorite part of the class?
So in that class, I am currently the only female in the class, but I like the chaos that it brings because all the guys are just, I don't know, they're just chaotic. But the class is really nice and it's really informational also, and I feel like they're also very flexible. Like if you don't understand something, there's always a way for you to get help and have a one-to-one with your teacher.
So do you have a favorite project that you've worked on in your class so far?
No, but the projects that I usually do like to work with are the ones that we call that have what we call three-way switches. So you know how let's say your staircase or probably somewhere in your house where you have a switch that it controls the same light, but there's 3 switches. So there can be one over there, one here, and then one there. So I usually like to work with those.
What kind of motivated you to study in the field that you're entering? You know, you did say you were the only girl in your class, so how does that kind of make you feel?
So I did not want to do electrical at first. I was gonna go and I wanted to do criminal justice or something like that. But I did the career exploration program, and then for level 1, it was my dad that told me to try for electricity, and I was like, okay, sure, I guess I'll give it a try. Did level 1, and I actually really liked level 1, so I decided to go for level 2, and I got into level 2, and I was actually really glad that I did because I actually really enjoyed the program.
So what are your future career aspirations?
What I want to do. So I want to go after high school. I want to attend a 4-year college. And I want to major in electrical engineering.
So, as a woman in this male-dominated field, who inspires you? Do you have any role models at all?
I'm trying to think. So my mom does work in machinery, which is, I guess, it's also a male-dominated field. And she's always been the type that's been you have to, in certain situations where you're not being respected, you should stay serious and demand, ask for respect, and always, make sure people are treating you fairly than others. You have to stand up for yourself if you notice that you're being treated unfairly. So I feel she's also had a lot to do with inspiring me.
Yes, I love that. Making sure you're fighting for yourself and your voice.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is based on this interview, what do you want people to take away from hearing your perspective and your experience?
I want them to know that, the industry of construction is expanding and that it's not just the male-dominated field, At one point it's going to get to a point where people are going to be oh, women also work in that. So it's not going to be something different where people are oh, that's just a male-dominated field. It's going to be normalized that women and men work in there.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for talking to me today, Carla, and sharing your experience and inspiring us all.
Right. Thank you.
I am joined with Julia today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So can you tell me what program you're enrolled here?
I'm enrolled in Draft and Design.
Oh, cool. So can you tell me a little bit about your program?
Most of the time we do blueprinting and we do sketches of buildings and stuff like that. Recently we just did a project on it where we get extra credit. So it's very helpful.
Oh, so interesting. Do you have a favorite project you've done so far?
A project that we recently just did, it was extra credit, but we just measured what we saw on the paper and then we just put it on another one. And it was pretty good, and I don't know, I just really like drawing and sketching, so it was helpful.
Yes, I love that so much. So have there been any challenges that you have come across in your class? How do you overcome them?
There have been a few. The class is kind of stressful sometimes, and it can be a lot to manage. Also when it comes to attention span, but most when it comes to overcoming them, I just think about how many other girls are in the class who feel the same way as I do, and just use that as motivation to keep going.
I love that so much. I feel I think that helps me as well, thinking other people are experiencing the same thing as me. I think that's so important, but also like representation in class too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what does like a typical day here at like Cat North look like for you?
Well, coming into class with my friends, and we'll have an opening activity, which sometimes the opening questions can like change my like outlook on life, depending on other people's answers. But then we'll get into like getting our tools, and then start working on the actual like sketching and like blueprinting type stuff before it's time to go.
Okay, so like, what kind of motivated your interest in the field? Did you like have like an interest like before in drawing or in sketching?
What's kind of funny is I used to draw when I was younger, but like I completely stopped, and I had like absolutely no interest in design. And then I got picked here for Cat North, and I was like, oh, okay. So thinking about it now, it's like I'm actually very interested in it now. Like, I think my self-motivation, honestly.
So do you have like a future like career aspirations? Is this something you want to do when you're older?
Yeah, I do want to look into real estate and selling houses. I don't know, I'm just like a person who's into like decor, and like I love decorating. So I feel like getting into real estate and selling houses and helping people find their dream homes is something that is like a passion for me.
That's so amazing. And I also I really like how like through your program, I feel like there's different like broad avenues you can go down, and yours is like so interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
So like as a woman in this like male dominated field, like who are your role models? Who are people you look up to?
The crazy part is it's my dad, because he's someone who's always like, you're a woman, and not only are you a woman, but you're a Black woman. So the self-respect for us is very low, especially as a teenager. So I think just like the constant reminders of him, and how how I always think of my future, and how he just wants me to be the best as I can.
I definitely relate to you on that. Just always, I feel like wanting to be better and always just having that expectation. I think that's what also pushes me through challenges as well.
Yeah.
So like, what advice do you have for our viewers? What stereotypes do you want to overcome?
The stereotypes of like women are sensitive and they can't do as much as men. I feel like that's just like so dumb. I feel like women have like, there's like factual evidence of women doing better or just as much as men. And I feel like for anybody who has a dream, then to just go after it, like no matter what anybody says.
Yes, I agree with that so much. Thank you so much for just having this conversation with me and sharing your insights. They were just so inspiring.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I am joined with Jalea here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So can you kind of tell me what program that you're enrolled in here?
Yes, I am enrolled in Draft and Design.
Oh, very interesting. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about your program?
Yeah, Draft and Design, we mainly sketch out the plans that we have for a certain building or any construction idea. So it's like, like blueprints.
Oh, very interesting. So can you like tell me, what do you like love most about your program?
I love to draw, so I really do love to sketch. I mean, does it get stressful at times? Yes, but it's just the passion for it which keeps me going.
So I know you did say about some struggles. Like, how do you overcome those challenges that you do come across?
I do, as I said, yes, I do get stressed at times, but I just think, okay, well, as long as I'm trying, then I can't really be upset, because our teacher sees that we're trying, so she's just like, it's not based on perfection, it's based on practice and that you try.
Oh, I love that so much. So can you like tell me what's like a typical day for you, within your program here at Cat North?
Well, a typical day, we do open activities and then we get right into it. She teaches us new lines we can sketch and how we can calculate the certain angles that we have to draw out. And yeah, it's like a nice, workful day. I mean, it can be a lot of work, but I don't know, I think that I like working hard. It's like my drive.
So like, what motivated you to, study the program that you're in? I know you said you do have like a passion for it. Can you like tell me a little bit about that?
So my dad, he originally does engineering. And at first I didn't know, because I'm like, why do you love building so much? I don't know why I love building so much. And it turns out I actually get it from him. And I don't know, engineering is just like a really expandable field. And you can do a whole lot of stuff in engineering, and I was really fascinated by it. So that inspired me to do Draft and Design.
So like, what are your future career aspirations? What do you want to do when you're older?
I would love to be a biomedical engineer. I do love, I always wanted to be a doctor, but I was like, I don't know if it to be a doctor or engineer. So I try to look in the engineering field to see if I can do both. And I found biomedical engineering.
Yeah, it's amazing. So like, obviously engineering is a very male-dominated field.
Yes.
As like a woman, like who like inspires you, and what do you want people to get from hearing your interview?
My grandma, because I mean, she doesn't have any engineering connections, but she does work for the government, and it's mainly like a male field, and she's really good at mathematics. So I mainly got inspired by her, because she's like, if a man tells you can't do certain things, always prove them wrong, because we're all equal. There's no who's above each other, who's below. If a male can do it, so can a woman. But she, and including my mom, she's extremely strong. She's the strongest woman that I know in my life. And it's just, they just inspire me to keep going.
Thank you so much just for joining me. All of your insights were just so inspiring. I know they're inspiring for our viewers too, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Today I am here at Cat South in the Interactive Media Production Classroom, the program that I am in, and I am joined with Marissa. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. So can you tell me what program you are enrolled in?
I'm in auto collision repair.
Oh, wow, interesting. Can you like kind of tell me about your program?
Yeah, so basically what it entails is body repair and refinishing. So if we have a dented panel or anything with scratches, we'll fix it either by replacing the panel, fixing it, and then we go in with primer and paint everything, get it prepared to be almost picture perfect.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So like, what's like your favorite aspect of the class? Do you have like a favorite project you've done?
Right now, I'm working on my motorcycle helmet, which that one has been one of my favorites, which I'm shocked that it overturned the Beetle I did, because I was in this class 2 years ago, and I finished a whole Volkswagen Beetle and redesigned it myself.
So what motivated your interest in this field?
Probably, well, my dad's a mechanic, so he does the opposite side of it, and seeing it from a different view really like interested me. And when I did Career X my sophomore year, I did auto tech and auto collision, so that way I could really see. And auto collision just felt like mind blowing to think, wow, we get to hit things and then fix it.
I love like your interest for it, and like I can definitely see like kind of like a passion there. Do you know what you want to do when you're older? Do you want to go further in like auto tech collision? What do you kind of envision for your future?
So I'm kind of on the fence right now. I really like auto collision repair, but I've done theater my whole high school, like years. I was a sound tech, and I had a really a strong passion for that too. So I'll probably end up doing both because I cannot stay on one thing. So I'd probably daytime work at a shop. Nighttime is normally when sound techs are used.
So I know the field you're in, it's very like male dominated. I remember you telling me before, like you're the only girl in your class. So like with that, how do you overcome any obstacles, and like do you have any role models that you do look up to?
I don't really have any role models. I mean, I try to make myself my own role model. It's definitely difficult sometimes because especially in my classroom, we don't have a girls' dressing room because it's just a very old building. So I have to walk all the way to dentistry if I need to do anything. So that kind of gets annoying at some points. And my first year, we definitely had a lot of problems with people thinking like, oh, well, my work's going to be better because I'm a guy, which I don't know where they got that idea. But I definitely say women have the better eye for it, especially with the painting.
Yeah, very, very inspiring. I like how you still push through despite some adversity.
Yeah.
So like what advice do you have for the viewers, and like what stereotypes do you like want to challenge? What do you want them to take away from this?
I want them to take away that it doesn't matter who you are or if you're a woman or male or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you are. Just be passionate. If you're passionate about what you're doing, then you won't have a problem. Just be you. Don't think, oh, I'm a woman. I'm not meant to do something like this. because that's totally wrong.
Yes, thank you so much for, sharing your insights. Very inspiring, and I wish you luck on your journey and, very, very interesting. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I am joined with Kirsten today. How are you doing?
Doing good, how are you?
I'm good. So what program do you do here at Cat South?
I'm currently in the level 2 of our welding program.
Oh, interesting. So what do you like about welding? What's your typical day-to-day?
Typical day-to-day, it's definitely something that is spaced out time-wise because anything that we do, we have to let rest because how hot it can get on a daily basis, I probably burn my hand 5-10 times.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's definitely something that's very all over the place, but specific at the same time.
So I know you talk about burning your hand and that. Are there any challenges you have that you've overcome, and how did you kind of adapt to being in that environment?
You definitely have to have tough skin, both physically and emotionally, especially with it being a very male-related thing. You've always got comments coming from here or there, always trying to one-up you, but one of the main challenges is the amount of smoke. It's definitely something you have to be careful with because it can, one, cause a lot of problems. Two, if you don't have the right ventilation, then you'll be doing this, blowing out your nose. You'll probably have black stuff coming out for a few days.
Oh, wow.
There's definitely a lot of hazards in the workplace.
Yeah, so I know with those hazards, a lot, I know there is, I think a passion, that draws you to it. What do you, love most about the class? And, do you have, a favorite project that you've done?
Something that I definitely love is our freedom that we get to have in the class. I'd say my favorite project is actually one that we just finished. We had to make a 6x6 dice, like a legitimate cube.
Oh, wow.
And each side had to have some different type of weld on it. So, and it was a team project.
Oh, okay.
So you get team building skills, you get your ability to stay focused on something and hold a straight line.
So, I know you mentioned, being a girl in this male-dominated field. Do you have someone you look up to, and how do you kind of get through the obstacles that come?
People I look up to are definitely my mom and my grandma. They are two people who have gone through hell and back trying to get to where they've got. And it was whenever I had some sort of obstacle in my life, my mom was someone who was you know where you can get to. You know you have more power than you think you do.
So, based on this interview, what do you want people to get from this? What stereotypes do you want to challenge as a female in this field?
That women can't do a better job than a man can. Because the amount of times that I've done a project and had a guy friend of mine come up to me or someone I know in the class be like, I don't like you. Or not
oh my goodness.
or mess with me I just don't understand because they're butthurt at the fact that I did a better job at a man's job than they did.
Your interview definitely inspired me to kind of keep going too.
Of course.
So thank you so much. Thank you. I am joined with Madison. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So can you tell me what program are you enrolled in here at Cat South?
Carpentry.
Oh, carpentry. Can you tell me a little bit more about it, what you do in the class?
So we work on right now we're doing sheds. We're doing a 16 by 10 shed and an 8 by 8, and we do small projects too, shelves, desks, stuff like that.
Do you have a favorite project that you've done so far?
I'm new here still, but at my old carpentry, we did canine sheds for the sheriff's office.
So with this adjustment, what do you love most about being here at Cat South in your class?
The structure, the lessons are easier. He goes over it. He makes sure we understand what we're doing. everyone kind of like learns at their own pace.
So, like, what motivated you to study carpentry? What made you, like, have interest in it?
I was just interested in a trade. A lot of my family does trades. My uncles do electrician, and then I have a couple in HVAC, plumbing, welding. So
Is this like a field that you want to pursue in the future, or do you have any other career aspirations?
now I'm leaning more towards welding.
But I know, and I would say in both welding and carpentry, it is very male dominated. What does that mean to you? And is there anyone that inspires you, that makes you want to keep going?
My older cousin, she's always been an inspiration to me. She's in a male-dominated trade. She's a mechanic and she does welding.
Okay.
And I've been really close to her. Also, it's just the fact, like, not many girls are in male-dominated trades, and so it's interesting seeing a girl. Like, it's different.
From this interview, what do you want people to take away from hearing this? Is there, like, what stereotypes do you want to challenge and make a difference in?
Just do what you want to do. Don't listen to what anyone else comments on that. And honestly, it actually feels good being in a male-dominated trade.
Thank you so much for, being able to interview with me and just sharing your insights. I know I valued them just as much as our viewers will, so thank you so much. I am joined with Erin today. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good. So can you tell me what program you do here at Cat South?
I do electrical at Cat South.
Oh, interesting. Can you kind of tell me about electrical and what you guys do in the class?
Yeah, so we show up and we usually do a lesson on the smartboard about usually code book. It's really hard to read, but we go over a little bit every day, and then we get to working in the cubicles in the back, and we just do circuits, different situations we would run into in residential.
Oh, so cool. So what does a typical day look like at Cat South with you, doing all those things?
I mean, usually we have a project that we work on. It's laid out on paper what you want done, and we figure out how we connect the wires to make it all work and plug it in, see if it works. If it doesn't, just kind of tweak it and figure out what we did wrong.
Yeah, very cool. Do you have a favorite aspect of the class or favorite project that you've done so far?
My favorite aspect of the actual class is kind of the freedom that we have. It's very different from being at my home school at Broadneck because the class is less structured than a normal class would be. We have the freedom to choose what project we work on, the pace that we work at, and I think if you're really motivated, it can help you to grow.
Yes, I actually agree with that too, because I do a program here at Cat South, the digital imaging, and I definitely agree. It's more not as many rules, and I feel time also goes by really fast because you're just working on what you're kind of passionate about.
Yeah, I think so too. The classes are 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast. It's half the day. I'm oh, I have to go home already.
Yep. So I know you talk about motivation. What motivates you in your field?
I'm really motivated by the opportunities that there are. There's at least in our area, there's Local 24 and Local 26 in Baltimore and DC for apprenticeship programs. So I'm really motivated to go out and work and make money and do all that in the field.
Do you have any future career aspirations? Is this a field you want to go into?
Definitely next year. I'm going to be a senior next year, and I applied to, it's called JATC. It's a school apprenticeship program, and so I'm going to be working every A day, going to school every B day, making my money for senior year.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, as a woman, I would say, in electricity, I hear it's definitely more male-dominated.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone you look up to, and what kind of inspires you to keep pushing?
I don't know any female electricians. I'm the only girl in my class. But for me, I kind of I'm not my own role model, but I see myself and I know that I'm different from most of the people in the class, and I try to just work through it every day. And you think it's if you make it, people will look at you different, I guess. I don't know. It's like, oh, she did it, and everyone else is a guy. So it'll inspire other people.
Like, from your interview, what do you want people to take away? What stereotypes do you want to challenge?
I just want people to think that they can really do anything that they put their mind to. It's, I feel like people put a lot of emphasis on the fact that you are a woman in a male-dominated field, but I think anyone can do anything. And so I try to challenge that by coming to class every day.
Thank you so much for talking with me and just sharing all of your insights and experience. I valued it. I know our viewers will value it just as much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Just thank you. I am joined with Faith today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So can you tell me what program you're enrolled in?
I'm enrolled in HVAC.
Oh, HVAC, interesting. Can you kind of tell me what your program is about?
So we do a lot of stuff with units, I should say, units that you heat your house, cool your house, just mainly that, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it also.
So what's your favorite aspect of your program?
Honestly, the aspect, I really love the community that's in the class. It's very fun, there's challenges, and then obviously it's easier to come to school when you got great people that you can hang out with.
Yes, I can definitely relate to that with having good friends in your class.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned challenges. What obstacles have you had to overcome in your program?
There's some people that just find it a little infuriating that I can do it specifically as good as the guys can or even better. And that challenge of just knowing that some of them don't want me there because of that.
Wow, very, very inspiring that you still push through and defying the odds, I would say. So what's a typical day look like at Cat South here?
Oh, well, after I arrive, we sit in the classroom for the first 15 minutes. We have a drill question. You might do a Kahoot on what terms and new questions that we're learning. And then after that, we'll go out to the shop. We'll work on soldering and brazing. Some of us have personal projects that we're working on, I'm building a speaker box, and then I'm getting ready to help finish making a school bus that is 4 feet long.
Oh, wow.
We often, every Friday, we'll clean the shop classroom. We'll put water down on the ground, scrub it, clean off all the tables, put everything away properly.
That's very interesting, especially the bus one. I was not expecting that.
4 feet long.
Do you have a favorite project? Is that one of yours? Do you have others?
So my favorite project I actually started in level 1. It was a boat of the family business. So we are commercial crabbers, and I decided I will make the exact replica of my aunt's boat out of copper to show how my skill is progressing and turning it into a piece of art that she can use and just put in her house.
So do you want to go into this field when you're older?
It's definitely a thought to go in this field. I have a lot of family members that have worked with HVAC people or everything, but everyone in my family is pretty much blue collar and has a job out in the field, so I'd be the first in HVAC.
So I know you mentioned earlier, some of the guys don't like that you're in the program. As a girl in a class like that, how do you, push forward with those odds? Do you have anyone you look up to? Is there anything that makes you just want to keep going?
So I look up to my aunt a lot because she's working in a male-dominated industry that I'm currently following her footsteps are, which is commercial water women. There's only about 11 that we're in contact with of all of Maryland that work the water. And we go out and we do all the stuff that the guys do, and we've gotten plenty of hate for it. And then there's other people who actually because we have a TikTok, and they'll comment on it, and they're like, oh, y'all are so gorgeous doing a man's job, but they're doing it better. And I'm like, that's what I like, is seeing that people do care and see that what my aunt is doing is putting out a voice for women that can work in this field.
So what advice do you want the viewers to have from hearing your interview? What stereotypes do you want to challenge as a woman in this industry?
Don't let anyone specifically get in your head about what a girl can do. Just know that if someone's telling you can't do it, I want you to go over it. And just so they say you can't do it, I want you to take their position and get a higher position too.
So much, Faith, for talking with me and just sharing your insights.
Of course.
Thank
you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to thank all the Cat North and Cat South students for talking with me today. I appreciated all of your insightful and inspiring conversations about young women in the trades. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Teen Talk.